Hey everybody, clearing. All right, we are going to get into a divine feminine check-in and see what's going on. How are the divine feminines navigating things? The King of Swords is in the upright at the top of the deck and everything else is flipped over. So that's my card of major decisions, legal matters, financial matters. It seems to be at the forefront for the feminines at this time. But let's see. So thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information coming through for my beautiful, wonderful divine feminines and masculines cross-watching for their divine feminine. What can we see for where the feminines are at this time? What are they processing? What are they navigating? How can we bring some emotional support, confirmation in for these feminines wherever they're at? And what can we see for advice or clarity for what we are going to be looking at? Okay, so conscious mind. Little dog hairs. Conscious mind about these connections. Okay, Two of Cups in the inverse. And neutrality, diplomacy, negotiation, philosophy. Okay, so divine feminines, it's not that they prefer to leave this connection. They do prefer this connection, masculines. But the Two of Cups here, they really need to have a practical, grounded confirmation of the love. They're not going to go on wishful thinking. They're more neutral. So feminines, you might be feeling like you are more secure in yourself than ever before. You're good on your own. You've never been more sure that you desire and want this person actually, and not because of the limerence or a overly romanticized version. You're ready to see how things can practically work or unfold. I'm looking at these twin stars here and hearing the star path of destiny. So you're really wanting a life partner that can match you, not just in this airy-fairy, dreamy idea of true love, but grounding it from the highest potentials and really seeing if this person or somebody else potentially going into the future can match you on that level of synergy I just heard. The willingness to meet mutually is also something strongly coming through here. The feminines desire a mutual love, an equal partner. What can we see here? Self-esteem. I possess the gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. So this is your confidence, feminines. You might be feeling, without being able to put your finger on it, a new sense of confidence that you're not going to take scraps, but you're not on guard for it, because it's just it's like water off a duck's back when somebody can't meet you there. And so it's not that you don't want this person that you might be watching this for. It's just that if they're not ready, willing, and able, oh, my dog hair, my goodness, then it's not going to diminish your self-worth, and it's not going to make you go into suffering if they can't meet you in a certain level. And for many, it is a question of, will they be able to? Even though I see so much potential with this person, there is a patience. It's like you're willing to wait it out, feminines, regardless of if it's going to be this person or somebody else. And this is tender. It does require that you, I heard, put love on the back burner, the idealized, romanticized love on the back burner, and really just live your life fully, genuinely, authentically, and cross every bridge as it comes. What is the advice? Four of Swords, Lord of Rest from Strife. Yeah, so this is an inside job. You're seeing how you used to maneuver and move in the world, and how that has been short-sighted, or how it's gotten you into karmic situations. And so now you're willing to wait. It's a strange mix of questioning whether you're jaded or if you've just become more intelligent, wise, savvy. Here we go. So what can we see for the hearts or the conscious mind about the divine masculine? Knight of Wands in the inverse. That's my player card. So you may have seen your divine counterpart more in a temporary, lusty, short-sighted energy as well. In the inverse, this means you might be seeing the indications of your person starting to reflect a more mature, sincere mode. Maybe they're cleaning up loose ends. Maybe they are graduating from karmic situations, coming into their own, getting serious, getting down to business. And we have heart wave resonator, ecstasy, rapture, flex, amplification. Now we're talking, I just heard. So there's something that you're beginning to see that's more than just this feeling of love. There's a deepening here into something more substantial, more workable, more meaningful. So yeah, masculines, your feminine is liking what they're seeing or feeling energetically with whatever changes are going on in your life. Your feminine is feeling like it might be the right track to come into a more synergistic union. So don't worry, masculines. Your feminines have never truly lost desire or hope for you, not in the big picture, but they also are practical and reasonable and do not want something that doesn't want them. So they have been kind of aloof in many ways to determine whether your interest is genuine, mutual. And somewhere here they are seeing that there is a possibility for this connection to lift off and to come into a more amplified dynamic if where they see you going right now is truly this buckling down and streamlining energy. Your feminine does have a sneaky suspicion that it is bringing you to closer to union. And pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. So right now there is a very independent assessment. Lots of solar plexus yellow here, this empowerment, confidence. The feminines know that if you don't genuinely get there through your own progress, masculines, it's not authentic. And they know they can't partner truly on the level that they want to if both of you don't come through that. And the feminines are really understanding their own growth through this. They're getting a chance to see themselves as more embodied with the self-love and confidence and knowing they don't have to take anything that happens on your side personally. Although it is a compliment that they are connected with somebody so alive like you are, masculines. But their worthiness doesn't depend on you. And by getting to see themselves holding their own for an extended period of time, they're actually anchoring more worthiness, more readiness for you. It's a mirror, everybody. So feminines, if you think that you're the one waiting for your masculine, you are deluded, because there is always something mirrored that you can take gratitude from. What is the advice? Lord of material gain. So this is really where the counterparts are going to be shown an exodus out of the rat race, out of the struggle. Keep praying for it, everybody, because these doors are becoming opened. And it is an inspired motion. So feminines, there's something to do with your masculine here that is inspiring you to come up and out of material struggle, strife, and to step more into an abundance mindset or alignment. What can we see for the heart space about these connections? Gone but not gone. Yeah, there seems to be this stepped back in the energy kind of thing. Sirian Stargate, transcendence, prayerfulness, serenity, and a lot of prayer coming in lately. So peace, prayers for peace, not forcing these connections. So the feminines on their heart space, masculines, know it's a tender developmental stage right now where you're both anchoring more of an authentic peace in your individual lives. And the feminines don't feel like they need to come in and be too hyper close in the dynamic right now. They feel as though they're loving coming into more of their own trust, their own security, their own balance, their own resilience, while watching you come into that as well and seeing your life reconfigure in a way that eliminates drama and strife. So that can be work scenarios, that can be living situations, that can be relationships, that can be friendships, that can be so many things that the feminines are standing back and watching reconfigure in your life. And it's a heart-spaced motion here. They're giving space for that. What is the emotional? Okay, happiness. I'm aware that being happy means I'm on the right path. That came out in the inverse as well. So the feminines are looking at what really truly creates their happiness. They know they don't want to be rocked like a ship at sea on the waves of the connection with you or what's going on in your life. They are holding their own with their own happiness and seeing what that really means. More so all the time, but they're also seeing you carving out your own happiness and individuating from scenarios, whether it's the tower moments that we've seen in recent readings, or you're doing things proactively, masculines. Your feminines are seeing you take matters into your own hands with regard to your happiness. And advice, the foolish man, the spirit of ether. So this is the leap of faith. This is the brand new uncharted territory. So your feminines know on the heart space that something has forever changed. Something has opened a doorway to more peace, to more happiness, to more sovereignty, and to more higher calling, higher timelines here. But that it's uncharted territory. It's not written. What can we see on the heart space for these feminines? Page of Pentacles and Crystal Capacitor, storage, time release, focused force. Yeah, look at how pensive this feminine is. Just looking at, I'm hearing the clock. Clock ticking, biological clock ticking. There are things here where the feminines are caught between worlds regarding time. So in one sense, they know they have to step lightly in the present moment and see what comes. On another sense, they are still feeling some of life's big energies, the material realm things of abundance and partnership and family and all of these decisions that they feel compelled to want with you. Of all people, they wish and dream for everything to be possible between the two of you, and they wonder how it's going to fit into this lifetime because it's so inspirational. And then we have storage, time release, and focus force, which, talks about it being measured out in manageable increments. And so the feminines are learning how to slow down with some of their compulsions, their urges, their desires, and have it unfold over time, and to trust that it's going to work out just the way it's meant to for both of you. Yeah, feminines. So you might be feeling that there is more of a abstraction to time coming in for you. You might be having strange sense of peace. It's all going to work out. More trust in the divine plan, but at the same time, you're still curious about how these other factors are going to play in. Advice, humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. So you might be seeing memes that strike you as funny. You might be starting to see physical realm synchronicities, I just heard, that impress upon you. You have nothing to worry about, and it will be in these remarkable, laughable ways. The irony, I'm hearing the irony. So you're going to start seeing that you don't have anything to worry about, and it's truly working out better than you could imagine. Whenever there is this measured unfolding, that divine intervention, divine timing is at play, that there's always a humorous way to look at things, that it's not necessarily a trade-off, but it is a prerequisite to learn some of the things that you're enlightened to on this journey before some of the things that you feel you'd love to experience or are being guided to experience. Before those roll out, there are awarenesses to be had that allow you to be the keeper of those treasures once they come to you. And so, yeah, that's that respect, the honor, the gratitude is what is being anchored right now while things move along at a particular speed that might feel curious to you feminines. And advice, Eight of Wands, Lord of Swiftness in the inverse. So yeah, things, you may want them to move ahead faster than they are, but this is saying not to necessarily put the brakes on, but to really appreciate when it's not full steam ahead. Look around in that space and ask, what can I fill this time with, and be accountable in the highest? If I've got the luxury of time right now, what can I use it for most wisely? Yes, feminine. So it's not about waiting or being idle. It's about having the right attitudes, the right energies here, and trusting the divine plan, the cosmic joke, tongue in cheek. I say cosmic joke because there is wisdom in all of that, but it does feel like you are caught between the clock ticking in the physical and then this cosmic, unlimited, eternal feeling. So yes, feminines, this is about slowing down where it matters and knowing that you deserve love, you deserve the blessing, and trusting it's going to work out better than you could imagine. What can we see for the manifestations? Yeah, Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. So the feminines are very sure in what they desire here, masculines. Very sure in the ways that they're being shown. I'm seeing some of the feminines here with their arms like this. They're not partaking in substances, alcohol. They're living clean, so that can imply food choices, exercise, sleep hygiene, diluting their energy with the wrong people. It does look like they're able to say no to temptation here, masculines, because they have a higher goal, a higher plan, and invention, innovation, scientific pursuits. So it's like, I'm going in. To me, the scientific pursuits card is very analytical masculine. So the feminines have been anchoring this analytical mindset where they know that when they go towards certain lower vibrational things, it causes certain results that are not beneficial, not welcome. They don't need those lessons. So they're finally getting to a place where they don't need to act out or rebel or choose to experience certain things. They don't need to bite the apple, so to speak. And now they're curious, if they don't do that, what they can experience, not sitting idle, focusing on their abundance, getting out of strife, staying on the straight and narrow and not straying, but not telling themselves that it's uncool. So these feminines really want to, look, mom, no hands. Like, they want to be more savvy with the potential that they have felt that they have had, but have undermined in themselves. So yeah, feminines, this is the time to say no to temptation and tell yourself it's the new cool to be in this righteous, straight and narrow, but very highly creative and productive and abundant path. A lot of the devil energies, the illusions, will tell you that you're foregoing friendships or cool factor or popularity contest when you just buckle down and invest in self. I feel like the feminines are about ready to have the energy and savvy to add more of an abundance attitude and lifestyle into their daily mix here. And they're wondering how that will grow over time. What can we see? Gratitude. Yeah, I'm thankful for this life and the opportunities it presents. So they want to manifest with you, masculines. They feel grateful for what you're showing them about how to dial in what they truly want to prioritize rather than the haphazard things I just heard. And I've seen that you've been a perfect mirror for them, masculines, because it feels as though you have offered them unconditional love. And so it's like the whole gamut. You've represented the illusionary things and the divine things. And because you've been a sacred mirror for all of those options, the feminines have utilized what you've shown them regarding their options, their choices in life in general, not just, interpersonally, but with regard to everything they experience. You have calibrated them to desire to hone their direction. Ooh, devil in the inverse. So yeah, keep slaying those illusions, feminines. Lords of the Gates of Matter. That card is in the inverse. So the 3D, the fear, the skepticism, the self-worth issues, all of that has nothing on you anymore, feminines. And it's through this inclusion of what you've seen in your masculine, the example that you've seen, the highest potential that you've seen your masculine demonstrate to you for what's possible. That's a reflection of who you are. And it feels as though you haven't actually personalized it as much as you're about to do so. And it means you're going to blow open the limitation here and go to the next level. And it's a very scientific cause and effect direct course here. And so you might find that you're borrowing advice straight from your masculine, relevancy straight from the example that your masculine has offered, and that it is going to take you beyond what you thought was possible in your own right here. So masculines, yeah, they really are grateful for the things that you have shown them. Don't be surprised if there is further conversation about how you do it, masculines. Masculines, if you're feeling to offer your feminine advice when you see them at this scenario, at this stage, it looks like it's going to be integrated with a lot of gratitude. And so anything you give them, constructive criticism, joyful support, tips, it feels as though there's going to be an opportunity for the feminines to individuate from the things that used to distract them, and now coming in closer to being more like you in certain ways. Your feminine has the intelligence to understand and the heart alignment to understand the way you do things like nobody else in the world. They may not be like you, masculines, but they are receptive to your specific brand of navigation in the world, let's say. So yeah, the feminines are allowing themselves the receptivity to let go of everything that isn't their highest timeline, and your wisdom, your way, your personality, your brand, your essence is the direction they want to go. You are more valued and held in actual high regard than you know, masculines. And you may have tried to give advice to so many people, but your feminine actually is like a sponge, a receptacle for exactly what you can impart and offer. It's really interesting, actually. I know I'm channeling a lot in this, but what is coming to me right now is many of the clients that I have, that the counterparts are in some kind of modality or career where the other counterpart is such an excellent mirror that it's mind-blowing how quick the results are with whatever is balancing between the two. So when there's a practitioner of any sort in these dynamics, the counterpart, typically the feminine, responds so incredibly fast to the guiding of the masculine if the masculine is in a place of leadership or a practitioner of some sort, and vice versa. But I'm seeing this dynamic in this reading where the masculines are going to be able to impart the awarenesses they have and see it incredibly quickly turn the lives around or deepen the path for the feminine right now, because the feminines are so receptive to exactly that specific way of doing things that their masculine has here. So feminines, even if you're not in communication with your masculine, there is something you can emulate that you are seeing in this counterpart that you can include just by inference, just by example, just by inspiration. Imitation is the surest form of flattery. If, however, and especially for you masculines that are watching this and are in communication with your feminine or could be, this is a beautiful opportunity to really give back for the love that your feminine has shown you so unconditionally. I'm hearing that divine timing is at play where there's something in your feminine's life that they are becoming ultra receptive to exactly the key codes, the information, the awareness you have, and the time is becoming now for it to kick off, where you're going to feel more useful, more successful, more fulfilled, because somebody gets it so deeply, masculines. And feminines, you're going to be so blessed when this energy unlocks of gratitude about why this masculine is in your life and what specifically this masculine shows you that you can include. So because this is a divine feminine reading, I'm not flippy flopping that right now to say what the feminines are offering the masculines. This is about being receptive to masculine example and energy here in your dynamic feminines. What can we see for the actions the feminines are taking? Baby steps, changes one by one. This is making the real world. The pentacles are the physical realm. So feminines, you're actually seeing this becoming more of a dance where you are releasing the old and including the new. Reconfiguration, cycles, and gratitude for a second time here. So it is this attitude of gratitude. So again, feminines, if you're not in communication, if you're not having active dialogue, that's okay. Gratitude will get you to the next level of communication with your masculine. Gratitude is receptive energy. Just being grateful for the wins, the times you do connect, the ways you have connected. Anything you can be grateful specifically with your masculine will unlock a pathway to more. What we focus on grows. Gratitude is what we need to be accountable for what we have already experienced in order to understand what is of benefit, so we can focus our attention on more of that frequency in these dynamics. And so, yeah, feminines are becoming poised and ready, masculines, because of their karmic release. I'm seeing here reconfiguration from their old lives to their new lives. And this is where they are becoming very alert and open to what your connection is really divinely guided to bring in, which is thriving for all involved, blessing for all involved, progress for all involved, innovation for all involved. But this is really where the feminines are letting go of that overfixation on the emotions, and they are beginning to really trust this so it can be foundational, so you can actually, in practical terms, support your feminine to greatness, to thriving here. Emotion for the feminines, fear in the reverse. I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. Yeah, so by putting the limerence, the romance out of it, the sexual chemistry, which is all there. I'm not saying it's not there, but by tempering that and mastering it, feminines, through gratitude for what is of most benefit here, even if you can't wrangle it into being a full-blown romantic relationship right now, you're still not rejecting this connection in that light, because you're actually seeing the true benefit and support in your life, and that is outweighing the immature, hopeless romantic kind of vibe here. You're starting to see foundational changes coming in that are not dependent on the romantic aspect, even though that of course is there. But the tempering of it is allowing you to see the true blessing that the divine wants to bring through these connections into the world, that is not losing yourself into this fluffy romantic thing. This connection here is for your highest good. That does not simply mean you're going to have a euphoric emotional response to it. There will be times of that, but right now we have this foundational motion coming in. What is the advice? We get Princess of Swords, Princess of the Rushing Winds. Okay, so there's a lot of change, the winds of change, the rushing winds of change. But this is about you staying grounded and practical through all of the swirl of energies coming towards you. You've never been more grounded, feminines, and this means you've never been more masterful in assimilating, integrating the major decisions, the direction, the foundational awarenesses as you are now. You've not been this mature before, and that again is another level of this gratitude. Be grateful to yourself, feminines, that you have gotten to this place where you can now be striving and thriving at this level, whereas in the past your emotions would have consumed you. You would have lost yourself, and many out there have lost yourself, been deluded by hormones or emotions in relationships. These connections are slow in the moving because there is something far beyond just that. Those things are the icing on the cake compared to what these connections are bringing in way of thriving and abundance and truth and foundation, structure, stability, long-term energy. What can we see for the biggest challenge for the feminines? Ooh, the devil in the inverse again, and dimensional planes of perception, intention, mental breakthroughs, ideas. So the challenge is thinking outside the box, thinking outside the status quo, thinking outside the illusions, the false constructs in society. This is independent thinking. So that's his challenge. You may not have come to these intentions, mental breakthroughs, and ideas on your own yet. But the challenge is to keep looking for those things and asking yourself, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Your assumptions, your held beliefs, the paradigms that run the show, the subconscious things that you still buy into, your worthiness issues. All of those things are lies. They are illusions. And so the challenge is to notice those things are at play, if they are, when you can see them, and to know that they are not the highest truth, and that there is more to this game of life than that. And you are meant to be going deeper, and instead of buying into those limiting, fear-based, suffering things, you're meant to say, if that wasn't the highest truth, what would a more welcomed, beneficial, better feeling, innovative way of looking at this same scenario or dynamic be? When you can see what could be possible, there's a new target to reach for. Just knowing something is available or potential, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. That is one way of elevating out of the known, the familiar, the comfort zone. Oftentimes our comfort zones breed complacency because we don't know any better and we don't know how to fix it. And so we just fall back on what's familiar. This is the issue here, feminines, is knowing there is something grander than you have yet perceived. And this journey is cracking your heart and your mind open to knowing that more is yet to come. The best is not in the past. And you are laying a foundation right now as a springboard, and whatever's going on with your dynamic, your masculine is offering you certain missing pieces of the puzzle, either directly or indirectly, vicariously or, with the momentum shared. There's something here, and the challenge is letting go of everything you think you know, feminines. What is the emotion? Change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. Yeah, so you can't stay in the same assumptions about reality and the way things work, and the same fear and the same limited thinking, and expect that what you are asking for, which is aliveness and love, is going to come to you. You have to internally catch yourself out on what you are still telling yourself is not possible or not likely. Anything that doesn't feel good, that throws you into suffering, it's not true. And so you have to know that whatever those illusions are, they are not the deepest truth. Let go of control issues. Don't have control freak temper tantrums about these things. Those are usually indicators that we've bought into hook, line, and sinker, the illusion. And we feel so frustrated because we fundamentally don't feel like we can have whatever it is that our heart is telling us. And then our mind comes in with such a doozy and says, but this, ha ha ha, wah ha ha. And so that is a deal breaker. And we go into this spaz out, but that is not what can happen here. This is you coming into much more of an alignment. And then we get Lord of Pleasure. So this is harmony. This is the soul connection. This is reciprocity. So right now, there are ways of looking at why you are worthy of love, feminines, instead of why you can't have it, or why it's an illusion, or why it's outside your reach. Those are all delusional thinking. And you are destined for love. You are on track for greatness in love and deep, deep pleasure. And so slaying those illusions right now. What is the solution to this? Okay, this is an existential crisis, dark night of the soul kind of energy. So feminines, if there's any remaining skepticism that you deserve love, you got to pinpoint those dragons, those demons, those entity level attachments that say you're the one that's going to miss out, you're the one that doesn't deserve love, you're the one that screwed it up, you're the one that's too much, you're the one that doesn't get it. Whatever those inner dialogue statements are, you're going to have to really look at those once and for all. Just look them in the face. And then we have Alpha Aryan Stargates, artistry, expression, community, celebration. So you are being asked to step into leadership in your communities, feminines. This means integrating, networking, talking amongst it, connecting with like-minded souls. But this is community involvement, because you're coming through a rite of passage where the truth is going to set you free. The Ten of Swords reduces to the Ace of Swords. And so when you've gone through a whole paradigm, you've deep dove into a paradigm of thought that gets you off track, once you look it in the eye and slay that big boss of that level, you've got so much value to gift into community, so much inspired wisdom. And it feels as though this deep dive you've been on over the last few years, I'm even hearing, your evolution is going to set you into a new trajectory, and it requires you to start coming back out of your shell into community. There might be some gatherings and celebrations. I'm hearing if you are invited to some holiday gatherings, functions, promotions, benefits, charity, fun, go for it, because it feels as though you're going to meet your people and you're ripe and ready to connect with certain people in community that you weren't of a vibrational match with before now. And so, yeah, you're coming out of the illusion. You've also done a lot of growth and a lot of healing, feminines. So this means that you're going to be seen and see things regarding networking and interpersonal communication differently than you would have in the past. You are becoming more imbued with light. Your light quotient is higher than it was before. You're getting ready to have this glow up, I'm hearing, for many, where you're going to see yourself and be seen for more of this time capsuled release. I'm going to go back to that time capsule card. Crystal capacitor, storage, time, release, focus, force. So this deep process, this slow motion process of becoming that you've been undergoing while going through this journey has been teaching you exactly the innovative ways of manifesting in your reality that you're now flowing with at a level where you can see and be seen at a different frequency than in times past. So this is where the things that you have been learning are going to be able to be expressed and translated and communicated to those around you in a much more accessible way. So your communication skills are upping, feminines. The Sword of Truth, that is about clarity as well. We saw the King of Swords in the first shuffle, and that is also impeccable speech. That is clarity. That is being able to convey with great simple articulation to get a point across that is a hopeful message, that is a love-filled message, that is an encouraging message, because you've learned to encourage yourself. So this is the solution to overcoming the devil energies. Is now you are a truth sayer, you are a illusion slayer. And so, yeah, feminines, you're stepping up and out of this limited way of navigating the playing small. This really is you cutting out of playing small and showing other people around also how to do that. And I'm feeling that there is a great deal, masculines, there's a great deal of support that you have been directly and indirectly giving your feminine. And this is part of the synergy that's starting to come in for the two, is going to be both of you, you know, not hiding who you truly are, not being afraid of who you truly are, and stepping out into the limelight or into the public as people who don't play, as people who are very, very solid, grounded in the truth that it's possible, that thriving is here. It's the new normal coming in. What is the emotion with this? Peace, yes. So prayers for peace all around. I am a being of love and I release all negative energy. So pray for your counterpart. They have peace in their heart. Pray for your counterpart and for yourself that you release the negative energy that allows your heart to be free and that allows your person to be free, because that is what we're here. This is a freedom act. You know, when the people take their power back, they become free. They see that it's all illusions that binds us. The comparison, the lack, all of that is illusion. And we're coming into the glory of our divinity and our safety, our trust, and gratitude for this process. Two of Wands, Lord of Dominion in the inverse. So it's not about owning or dominating or trumping. It's literally, no pun intended. It's literally about flow, access, knowing. This is divinely guided impartation of light. What can we see for the direction in the near future? Three of Cups. So this is the friendship that we've seen for, a year now? This is grounding into love. So because this foundation is essential, we cannot have long-term divine relationships if we don't do the foundation of seeing the benefit, the gratitude of what the meaning that these connections actually impart and bring through, that is channeled from the divine, the Most High, into these life paths. Until we see that it's about the spiritual development, it's not about the lust or that romantic, that chemistry that draws us together, that keeps us motivated. That's not the be all end all. It's this stuff that comes through the connections into the lives of the counterparts, into the world through the counterparts. It's this beautiful unfolding. We get Galactic Council Crest, spiritual sovereignty, astral travel, timelessness. Right, we had to reclaim and embody our spiritual sovereignty, our personal mastery that's not dependent on being in a sexual romantic connection with someone. That is part of the awareness that the person that we're connected with is very powerful and probably our person, but at the same time that can't be the key primary focus. It has to be this divine love coming into the world. And with spiritual sovereignty, our greatest test is to hold our own spiritual purity, righteousness, even above our counterpart. Our connection to God has to be more anchored than our connection to our person, or we will lose our way. We will get distracted. We will turn and think that that person is the source of our happiness. And that is what is wrong with codependency, is that we're looking external for what we need to be looking internally for our connection to source. So this is beautiful because it's like a click. When both counterparts come into their higher alignment with source, then they can confirm and mirror and support each other from that divine knowing instead of the blind leading the blind. Wow. And in love, I commit to the practice of seeing good in all things. So this came out in the inverse as well. So this is a deep dive of gratitude to see the good in your journey, yourself, your counterpart, the dynamic. Does this connection that you are watching this video for offer you this level of divine intervention into the world? Are you an instrument of divine intervention into the world? Because of this love, at this state of consciousness? If so, then you are truly on a divine love journey and you are truly on your divine purpose. And everything that comes through you as a result, your career, your purpose, your love, your interpersonal connections is blessed deeply because you choose to be an instrument of the divine and align so that divine love can come through you and into these connections. So it's not in competition with these connections. It has to establish the proper order of things so these connections can be pure, righteous, aligned. And there is a time now where these connections can start to come in more and more romantically because this spiritual bar is set. What can we see for advice? The Lovers, yeah. Children of the voice divine. What a way to end this reading. So this is both counterparts. It's even in the inverse, allowing for this energy to be coming through the two into the world. The Lovers is the grounding of this higher love. Yeah. children of the voice divine. So both are learning to channel as a way of life, and that is the synergistic energy that the divine intends for divine love couples, because it is exponential when two people who are in divine alignment partner. Yes, and so when we know ourselves well enough to be in service, we also know ourselves well enough to begin to partner really with a divine match. I just saw 4444. On that note, I'm going to end it. Bye for now, everybody.